Welcome to Module 6. This module is about network visibility, the tools and practices you use to observe what's actually on your OT network and what it's doing. We've covered the theory across 5 modules: IP addressing, protocols, ports, segmentation, and firewalls. This module is about confirming that theory matches reality. You can design the perfect segmented network architecture on paper and still have a network that doesn't match that design. Devices present that nobody documented. Services running that nobody enabled intentionally. Communication paths that weren't in the firewall rules. Visibility is how you find the gap between what you think the network looks like and what it actually is. Consider a few real scenarios that occur in OT environments regularly. An unauthorized device, a contractor's wireless access point, a personal cellular hotspot, or a decommissioned RTU that was never physically removed from the network, sits on the OT segment and nobody knows it's there. It responds to network traffic. It may have open ports with known vulnerabilities, but because nobody documented it, nobody is monitoring it, and nobody is protecting it. A PLC shipped from the vendor with Telnet enabled as a default service. The commissioning team configured the control application and moved on. Nobody disabled Telnet. That PLC has been on the production network for 3 years with a plain text remote access service listening and waiting. An attacker who gained a foothold through a phishing email 2 weeks ago has been slowly mapping the OT network from a compromised engineering workstation. Nobody has detected anything because nobody established a traffic baseline to compare against. In all 3 scenarios, the problem isn't the absence of security controls, it's the absence of visibility that would surface the problem so it could be addressed. You cannot protect what you cannot see. Network visibility in OT environments falls into 3 practical categories. 1. Asset inventory visibility. What devices are on this network? The goal is a current verified list of every device with its IP address, MAC address, device type, firmware version, and owner. The word current is critical. An asset inventory from commissioning 5 years ago is a history document, not an operational tool. Assets are added, removed, and modified. The inventory needs to reflect the current state. 2. Service and port visibility. For each device in the inventory, what services is it running and what ports are open? A PLC with only port 502, Modbus, open is a different security posture than the same PLC with port 502, port 23, port 21, FTP, and port 80, HTTP open. Service visibility tells you what attack surface each device presents. 3rd, traffic and behavior visibility. What is actually flowing on the network? Which devices are communicating with each other? On what ports and at what times and how often? Traffic visibility reveals communication paths that shouldn't exist, devices that are doing things they weren't designed for, and anomalies that indicate a security incident in progress. A baseline is a documented picture of your network in its normal operating state. It captures which devices are present, which ports are open, and what traffic patterns are normal. Without a baseline, you can observe the current state of the network, but you have no reference point for what's normal. Every anomaly looks like just another data point. Is the SCADA server communicating with a new IP address because a new piece of equipment was installed? Or because it's compromised and is trying to reach a command and control server? Without a baseline, you can't tell. With a baseline, every deviation is meaningful. A device that wasn't in the inventory is immediately identifiable. A port that's open on a PLC that wasn't in the service list last month is worth investigating. A communication path between 2 devices that have never communicated before stands out against the baseline pattern. Think of it exactly like process instrumentation. You set normal operating ranges for temperature, pressure, flow, and level. Any reading outside those ranges triggers an alert. A network baseline is the equivalent, the normal operating range for network behavior. Build it, verify it periodically, and treat deviations as alarms worth investigating. Before we get into specific visibility tools, the next video covers an important safety caveat specific to OT environments. The tools used for network visibility in IT environments behave differently on OT networks, and the risks of using them incorrectly are real. This is a short but critical video before we look at any specific tools.